Hi there and welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm IceMan and today we are doing a champion guide on Melga Steelgirdle, one of the amazing dwarf champions that came fairly recently to the game at the time of recording this. She's not new but relatively new, and boy is she good. So she's an epic HP based champion with the dwarves faction as we mentioned. Interesting look to her, not amazing. I mean, I don't love the look of the dwarves. Overall, they just don't really appeal to me for the most part aesthetically, but you know, still she looks pretty cool. She's got these two massive maces, and she's got this sort of a huge plume out of this helmet that she's got that quite frankly is almost as big as she is. But yeah, that's about it really. So let's take a look at her skills, because that's where she is very inspiring. And speaking of inspiring, her A1, Inspiring Violence, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of removing one random debuff from a random ally. Cannot remove a debuff from this champion. So, alright, on a team of 4, she's got a chance of removing a random debuff from one of your things. Problem is, this takes a lot of books. You can book it up by another 25%, taking it up to 75, but it's not 100, and it's a random debuff from one random ally. It's an okay A1, but personally I don't feel it's worth the books, and I got quite lucky with the books, I have to say, and this takes a lot of books on this A1. 8 books, yeah, you heard that right, 8 books on the A1. So, you know, it's an okay A1, it's nothing special. It helps a little bit, but it doesn't help massively. So, A2, Sheer Grit. You could argue this is a big money ability, but really it's sort of a A3. But anyway, places a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Also places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. So you build her out with massive HP and you get this big chunky shield. You can also, I've boosted the shield stat as well, so you've actually got a 30-40% shield technically, and the cooldown from 4 to 3, so that is a really solid support move. You can't knock it at the end of the day, you know, continuous heal and a massive shield in one move, it's just great. Moving on to her A3, again we've got Glorious Return. Brilliant name, absolutely love it. Revives 2 random allies with 20% HP and 20% turn meter. Also places a shield buff on the revived allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP. It's a shame it's not her max HP, since you're building her out for HP, that would make it slightly better. And 20% HP is a bit low, but obviously then they are getting the shield to boot as well. This only takes 2 cooldowns and it books down from 7 to 5 turns. Still a lot of turns to get through, but still really solid. She's going to be an amazing help, I'd imagine, for me on my Faction Wars team, which is why I was really happy to get her. This only takes 2 books, which is great, so that's not too many. This takes 5, which isn't too bad, and they're all really valuable, and I managed to get really lucky with the books. So the one I wasn't too worried about, the A1, I've only got a couple in, and then I've managed to get these 2 fully booked out, which is what I want. So you've got that revive really quick, you've got this absolutely amazing support ability up every 3 turns, and you've increased what it does as well, so that's great. So moving on to our artifacts, we'll take a look at her total stats. Okay, so for her stats we've got 64,000 HP, the attack's neither here nor there, defense at 2k, speed at 194, I'd like that a bit higher, but you know, you do what you can. Crit rate is at just over 100, crit damage isn't overly high, but it's okay at 86. I mean, she's not a damage dealer, I'm not really building her out to do damage, I just wanted to give her full crit so that she can do some okay damage and not be... I've not built her out for resistance, and the accuracy is only this high because she's got an accuracy banner on. I'll explain that in just a second. So the reason she's got an accuracy banner is quite frankly because I don't have a HP banner. I do have defense banners, but even rolled up they had worse stats for defense and HP than this did. So this gives me, you know, I was getting lots of attack and stuff like that was really completely useless for her. At least this, I've got a rolling defense, a double rolling HP, and I get some speed, and then I get some flat defense as well. So it was basically the best piece I had for her. I really want to get a HP banner for her, but I must have had one at some point and just sold it, I'm guessing. But I don't have any on any of my champions, so I couldn't even steal one off of one of them, and unfortunately that's the way it is. So we've gone for accuracy on the banner. I would go HP, I stress that straight off if I could. As a secondary, if it had better sub rolls, I would go for defense. As I said, I don't have anything that fits that build, so this actually gives me the most HP. I could gain a little bit of speed if I put a glyph on a defensive banner I have, but then I'd still lose HP and stuff, so it's not worth doing. Definitely not worth wasting glyphs on. Gone for HP on the neck. We've got accuracy. We don't really want accuracy, we want defense, and resistance was what we were hoping for here, but you know, you take what you can get at the end of the day. Again, we've gone for HP on the ring. Again, it's the best piece we've got rolled up. It's only got one roll into HP, which is annoying, and the rest of the stats are flat, and the defense is flat, which is a bit of a pain, but again, it's doing the best with what you've got. We've not rolled it up to 16 because it's a 6-star piece. We've gone for speed boots because we do want to go in fast, with HP as a sub roll and defense as a sub stat as well. I mean, that's a motif, but I've really gone out of my way to build a HP up, basically. And where I couldn't build a HP up, I've tried to build up her defense. I've gone for trying to get her up to 100% crit, and I've managed it, as you see, just because I want to allow her to do some damage. She's not a big hitter, she's not there to do damage, she's there to do support. And in hindsight, if I have the gear, I might change her out at some stage and re-roll some gear when I've got the silver, which I definitely don't at the moment. I might re-roll some gear and try and get, say, speed instead of crit rate into her, and just completely ignore all damage abilities and just try and concentrate on defense, HP and speed. But at the moment, it's what I had, what I could do. So she has got crit rate gloves, but it's got triple rolling speed. I really like this piece. It's got some HP, even if it is flat. As a substat, it's got some crit damage and some defense. So nothing bad there, no bad stats whatsoever for her. We've gone for a gloss over that. Yeah, we've got a HP chest. Again, it's 6 stars, so we've not rolled it up. We've got some crit rate and some crit damage and some speed. Again, it's what I could do. I've gone for a shield set so that she gets that shield based off of her HP, which is a good deal of HP, so it's not bad, and it helps out at the start of each round, especially on faction wars, which is where I mainly want to use her. For me, for my teams, you know, I've got Arbiter, I've got some other revivers and stuff, some of the Drakes. For me, I don't really need her. I've even got the likes of Cardinal and stuff like that, so I don't even need her in like the arena 3v3. For me, she is solely really for Dwarf faction rooms in the Doom Tower and for the Dwarf faction in Faction Wars. That's it. That's the only reason I built her out. That and to show her off for you guys. But for me, it's worth it, and I do think she's a really cool champ. If I didn't have other champs that I think are just better than her, like Arbiter, she would be probably one of the best support champions on my account, because she revives 2 champions and she puts out those big chunky shields. With the shield set and the HP, she's also putting shields out that way. So she is an immense champion, don't get me wrong. It's just, especially for an epic, and for anybody who's lacking Arbiter or lacking really solid support, she's going to be a massive boost for you. She'll carry you through all sorts of content. She'll keep picking champions up, she'll keep healing them up, keep putting shields on them. You can't knock it. It's just huge, absolutely huge. So yeah, we've gone for the crit rate to just get that up to 100%. Again, we've got some HP, some flat resistance. Again, if I could have built that out higher, I might have done, but it doesn't really. I wasn't too worried that much about the resistance part. HP's been my main thing, and defense. So here's a fairly good one. Alright, we've got attack on it. It's not ideal, but it's in the shield set, and every roll's on a stat we do want. So 2 rolls into HP, a roll into defense, and a roll into speed. Absolutely amazing. We've got another 6-star piece here, so again it's only rolled up to 12. It's got crit rate, accuracy and HP. I basically didn't really have anything better. So a Masteries, we've gone and given her the ability to do damage, but they're not giving her Masteries to do damage. But that is primarily because she's a support champion and I want to keep her alive. So that's the way I built her Masteries. I've only given her that crit rank crit damage just so that she's not complete wet noodle and at least she contributes a little damage. So we've gone down the support tree, obviously for max HP, up by more, and then you know, increases the value of shield buffs that she casts. She doesn't actually directly cast a heal, and I don't think these sorts of things affect continuous heal. That's just a flat X amount of HP per turn or whatever. So I don't think masteries like this actually affect that, but we have gone for the one where it basically increases the value of the shield, heals this champion if she gets a kill. Actually, I don't think it's even necessarily that she gets a kill, and it just helps keep her. Increases the amount of healing and the value of shield buffs. Again, I've done this for the shield buffs if a champion is below 40 HP. Again, she casts buffs, so we've gone for boosting her turn meter when buffs fall off. Increases the amount of healing and the value of shield buffs. Again, it's for the shield here, not for the healing. A chance to get back a cooldown, obviously that makes sense. We've gone for lasting gifts so that those buffs you're putting out actually last for longer. And then we've gone for increased speed for each dead ally, so that when people are dying she's going faster and she can tick around to that revive quicker. And then for the same reason we've gone for timely intervention, increases his champion's turn meter by 20% whenever our ally hero drops below 25%. So every time that happens she can boost her turn meter, and it gives her a chance to come back round to that revive or heals, and basically put shields out there, the continuous heal out there to pick people up. That's the motif we've gone for. And then because we need her alive to do that, we've basically gone down the defense tree to mitigate some damage. So you've got extra defense, mitigates AoE damage. This one was kind of pointless, I just really took it to get to the one below. Has a chance to remove one random debuff from the champion when they lose 25% of their max HP. Chances are she's not going to be losing that much HP because she's big, tanky, chunky. If it does happen, fair enough, she'll lose a debuff, or she's got a chance to. Reduces damage from a specific champion, and then also speeds her up, increases her turn meter when her allies are taking critical hits, which makes sense. Again, you're ticking around so that you can keep putting those heals out there and the shields out there, and basically just try and keep them up all the time. And that's it in a nutshell. So we'll take a look at getting her into some content. So where does she work? Well, she's a support champion, so she's going to work in the Doom Tower. Obviously she works in Faction Wars, she should be great there. She's going to work at lower level spiders, maybe even higher level if you don't have anybody else to heal and give you that sort of shield and support. Obviously she's putting shields out there, which helps keep your team up. And she's actually not a bad affinity for Spider 20. In fact, she's just neutral. Fire Knights, again, you know, she's not going to bring anything. She doesn't bring the extra hits. What she does bring is support. So that's why she's great anyway. So we'll start off by showing her in the Ice Golem's Peak, which is where she's actually neutral. So we'll slow it down so you can see what's going on. So obviously they come in here with this big chunky shield. Look at this, absolutely huge to start off with. And that's just because of the shield set she's wearing. Then you've got these people coming out doing all their damage and everything. Valkyrie's put her big shields out anyway. Actually might be those shields, to be fair, by the looks of it. But they will have started with a massive chunky shield, so it's kind of redundant that Valkyrie came out and did that straight off when she didn't need to. She would have been better off saving it for here, and if I was manualing, that's probably what I would have done. But I would get it back up again pretty quick, so that's solid. But between the pair of them, you've got an immense amount of support here. Obviously, Valkyrie is kind of a cheat for anywhere like this. Here you go, Melga picks up Queen Eva. Unfortunately, she's got a 5-turn cooldown on her thing, and we've just lost one again. That's where having Syl in here, instead of bringing somebody like Astralon, actually Or, yeah, actually thinking about it, I could have brought Miscreated Monster. He does some okay damage and also puts up shields and also does some nice shields and does the stuns to help control the waves. But, you know, Ashlon just managed to pick her up as well. So we're getting to the boss. Obviously we've lost Queen Eva at the moment, but we should be fairly close to ticking around for her A3 to come along and pick her up again. We hope, since the whole reason she's there is to block revive. But she's a bit of a glass cannon. She's not built to take damage. There you go, we get those continuous heals out there again. Not that we really need it. Astron's a little bit low. Valkyrie's got the minus bit off of her. So she comes up with a nice little chunky bit of health and then a chunky little bit of shield, which brings it all in all almost brings it to 50%. That shield's now completely gone though, so we could really do with getting a shield from Valkyrie. Yeah. There you go, Sheer Grit comes out again, so she's now going to be getting some heals. I do love that Sheer Grit. I think that, I mean, obviously her revive is the main reason I wanted her, to help give you that likelihood that you're going to have a full team at the end to do the faction wars and get those 3 stars. But Sheer Grit on its own is an amazing ability with that continuous heal and the big shield. Okay, and so we're back, and as you saw, not the fastest of times at all, like I said it wouldn't be, but it was steady, it was solid, and we got through it without any issues. We never did get one of those block revives from Queen Eva. Like I say, that's the only problem with bringing block revive champions to this run for this sort of thing, is it almost never seems to happen, and that really annoys me. It really does. The timing on it is just stupid sometimes. Like they'll use it right before when the person's at half health, and rather than saving it for one turn and then using it. I wish they'd changed the AI on that for this fight to try and say don't use the block revive ability unless they're under 50% health or something, maybe even 60% health lost, so under only 40 left or whatever. Not a bad little piece, but it is only rare and it's not amazing, so we'll get rid of that. So as you can see, healing wise she's done 574,000 healing. Obviously nobody else has done healing, and that's just from her continuous heal. And then obviously she's helped keep everybody up with those big shields all the way through. Obviously Valkyrie's an absolute beast here because she brings massive support with those shields. I know so many people don't have her, but if you do get her, your quids in, she's just such an amazing carry for all over the game. Obviously she's great for clan boss, except for certain unkillable teams where she becomes a liability, like in mine, so I no longer use her in clan boss, but still, but you know, Melga really held her own there. She doesn't do the damage that Valkyrie does, but she was constantly healing, constantly putting up that shield, and then on every new round she was putting up that shield from the shield set, so you know, you can't knock it at all. Right, let's jump into our next one, shall we? We're actually going to do one where she's negative affinity, just to sort of show off what she can do for support. So we've only got one healer in here, so this, and she's a fast healer, so this might be a little bit dodgy. She nukes like a beast, but she's very frail, which means she's likely to go down quite often, so is Cold Heart, and that's where she's not necessarily the best support on her own, but you know what, we'll try it. We're going to go for an all-out nuke-ish sort of build with her as the only support. Sorry, I need to get that frog out of my throat again. They keep crawling back in every chance they get, you know. So, obviously we've got her out there doing her thing, putting out the big HP burns. That's Sissia Flame Tongue. Nuke down that first wave. And again, you see, nobody else has put up a shield here. This is just from the shield set, and you've got a good, what, sort of 40%, I'd say, nearly shield there, which at the start of any round is going to still be big. It's still going to help. It's going to be massive in keeping people up, which is where these HP champions really come into their own, and you stick them in a shield set. It helps you even more in getting through waves like this where we've got no other support really. I mean, Duck, you could argue, brings a little bit of support in the fact that he can provoke the odd champion, but he's only a single target, so he's not really a support. He's in there for his decreased defense and weaken and all that, or decreased defense and decreased attack. I can't remember what it is he does now. I think it's those two. I'm going bonkers. But as you see, we've got the dragon in decent time. 2 minutes 2, 30 seconds off of my best time. It's still a very solid time, and she was the only support in there. Alright, we're getting a little bit of heals from Duck and from Coldheart. I'm not actually sure how. I think Coldheart's got an ability where she heals herself on her 8-2 or something for damage she does. I don't know where Duck's getting his healing. Maybe he does something similar, I can't remember. Absolutely useless. But as you can see, she's a carry in any dungeon. Doom Tower, definitely. You know, if you haven't got solid support and you need it, she's definitely going to do it. She puts up regular shields. There we go. So, for 100. Now, usually I bring in Warlord, and he is a solid champ for this. He does a great shield. But we're going to put her in instead. She brings some health for us all, and also brings a shield plus a continuous heal. And we'll just leave them to do their work, and we'll see what it's like on auto. Can she work in the arena? Yeah, I was actually going to do an arena fight with her, but you know, she's basically there for support. So if you need a reviver and you don't have one, you don't have an arbiter or whatever, by all means stick her in there. She'll be some solid support, putting up shields, putting out those continuous heals, picking up champions if they fall. She's great for arena defense for this reason. But like I say, her main place, to my mind, is faction wars, faction rooms, and also just pushing through content, dungeons, campaign, Doom Tower, you name it. She provides just huge support everywhere. She's one of those champions that I rarely get that excited, and on my account, because I do have legendaries that just outclass her by a bit, she's not going to get a huge amount of play on my teams, I'd imagine. But, like, I'll probably put Warlord back in for this sort of thing after we're done. But she'll do it quite admirably still. So, you know, it's... Oh, so we've just had all our shields removed. Let's see what happens. This is usually where you can come at Cropper because he'll start attacking back. Now we've got shields up again, so we're sorted. Obviously the AI is not quite smart, so it'll just keep sort of putting shields out there, and there's always a chance of them falling off at the wrong time. And that's why I bring 3 shield champions, because at least between the 3 of them there's a good chance of keeping shields up all the time. Not in for the fastest run here. Must admit, I need to have a look at these champions after. I might nick some gear off them for somewhere. Coldheart's getting in a little bit of trouble. And we're in trouble now with these provokes going out there. This is where runs tend to have issues. Once he starts getting those provokes out and you're not getting the shields up, everybody starts wiping. Now this nearly always works with Warlord, and I thought it would with her. I'm guessing I thought the shields were on a similar cooldown, but obviously speeds are a factor as well. But there you go, at least she's picked 2 up and put a shield on them straight away, giving Valkyrie a chance to then put shields out there. Alright, we've still lost Cold Heart, which is not great. And she's one of our destroy set champions. Now, if you really want to use Melga just for trying to help you in somewhere like this, you can always put her in a destroy set. She doesn't do huge amounts of damage, but at least she's always going to be doing damage, and there's a good chance for staying up with a regular shield and whatnot. She's not quite as good as, say, somebody like Vergis, who does it every turn. Unfortunately, we've got another 5, well, not 5 turns now, but we from when she used it, we've got 5 turns until her revives back up. That's the only problem. And we are starting to have some trouble again. Okay, and we're back. So, yeah, it was a long one. 8 minutes 51. To be fair, my best time on that, because it is a slow, tough battle, is actually 6 minutes 29. So, not stupidly longer, but it was definitely longer, and I would definitely say I'd prefer Warlord any day of the week for that one. But did she do it? Yes. And look at this healing, nearly a million. Well, alright, 700,000 in healing. Definitely a slower run, but it does show that she's solid support, and with the regular shield every 3 turns if you booked her out, and the continuous heal, it is just huge. We're not going to drag this out any longer. It's already a pretty long video with a couple of long runs in it. Obviously that will be a bit shorter when I cut those runs down. To sum up, she's a great champion. She really is, but she's only an epic. So if you get legendaries that do similar stuff, they're going to be better at the end of the day. Not necessarily all in. I mean, you look at somebody like Arbiter, she's brilliant. She revives a lot quicker. That's part of the thing that makes her so great. Her revive is on a short cooldown. She also has a speed boost and healing built into her mechanic, but she doesn't do any shield. So I mean, on support they're almost comparable in a way, but again, Arbiter brings up the whole team and gives them a huge chunk of health and all the rest of it. So at the end of the day, she's an epic reviver, not a legendary reviver, but she is really solid, and quite out frankly, I'd be happy to take her in almost any content, and she'll be a solid support. And if you pull her early game, you're laughing, you know, she's just going to help you absolutely everywhere, because she is just great. And like I say, she's got uses in the arena for picking people up, she's got uses in arena defense, she's got uses in the campaign, maybe not normal campaign farming, but just to help you get through the campaign when you're struggling, as you're trying to progress up. She'd certainly help you there. And obviously faction wars, any of the dungeons really, Doom Tower, I mean, because she's support and she is really solid support, she's useful everywhere. There's not really anywhere you can say that she's just totally useless. I mean, even Clan Boss, if you need somebody to help you stay alive and keep up, she's going to be constantly putting those shields out on you. Alright, shield set's not a great one for that one, because you'd use it at the start and that's it. So if you want to use her as a Clan Boss champion, I'd look at maybe gearing her a bit differently than I have. But constantly putting out a continuous heal, picking up anybody that falls, and putting out those shields on a regular basis, again, it's a huge help for anybody. So yeah, all in all, great champ and really love her. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It lets YouTube know it's a good video and more people should watch it. And you know, if you want to watch more of my content, hit that subscribe button and then ding that bell, and then you'll get notified next time I release a video, basically. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.